Hey, Mr. Casados' music class. This is Scratch. We talked last week, but your teacher, Mr. Casados, he sent me an email and said that there were a couple of more questions, and I thought it would be cooler for me to make a video like this as opposed to trying to just answer them in text format. So anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and try and get these questions answered. The first question is, the Pikachu over your left shoulder, which generation is it? I've had this Pikachu in my life for as long as I can remember. It's first generation, which is the generation that my older brother grew up with. I, watched him play the first generation, and then I also wound up joining in when the second generation came out. That was when I was old enough to start playing it. The second question is, how many instruments do I own, play, or teach, and what's my favorite and least favorite? Okay, so I play piano. I also play guitar. And I also sing.
It's always people like you, pushing people like me away. If I'm shaking, don't touch me. If I'm falling, don't catch me. If I'm loving, don't hate me, please.
I teach on all three of those instruments. My favorite is probably the piano. If I can think it, I can probably play it. I've just been playing that long that it's sort of like that for me. I also have a ukulele and a violin, but I don't really consider myself playing for either of those because I never got really good at those. Actually, just to prove it to you, I went and got my old violin. String billing. Yeah, it's not my best instrument. The next question is, how old is Buddy? And Buddy was actually a rescue, so I don't know how old he was when we got him. But I'll ask him. Why don't we ask him? Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. I've got some treats for Buddy. And Buddy, you're going to have to tell us how old you are by how many treats you eat. Okay, so here's your first treat. Here's treat one, number one. Good. So that's 1 year old. Okay. Here's treat number 2. Yeah. 5. I'm pretty sure we're about 5 years old. Oh, okay. But we're not any older than that, right? I don't think we're any older than that. But maybe we're. Oh. Okay. That's 6. But buddy, I'm starting to think that you. Hey, I didn't. And the last question, do I find any instruments challenging to write for? It took me a while to figure out how to write for strings. It did take me a while to figure out how to write properly for guitar, which is why I learned how to play guitar. But now I'm in the process of learning how to write for marching snare drum because I want to write marching band music. So anyway, we're going to see what happens with that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for asking these questions and for playing my music. It's just the coolest thing. So I told Mr. Casados he's like the coolest teacher ever. Alright, see you guys. Hey, Mr. Casados Musics. Hey, Mr. Casados Musics. Casados. Hey, Mr. Casados Music. How do I say that? Hey, Mr. Casados. Hey, Mr. Casados' music. Hey, Mr. Casados' music class. Wow, that's such a tongue twister. Okay.